Okay, hi everybody. Welcome again to another English class here on Verbling.com. My name is Lisa and I'm one of the English teachers here at Verbling. And in this hour we're going to be having a speaking class. So if you want to practice speaking in English, this is a good time to join. If you have a reservation, you can join now. But if you don't have a reservation, then you can just wait until you see the join class button, and then you can join. Hi guys, how are you? Hi David.
Hello.
Two
Hello.
Davids. Hi. Let's see. It looks like we're gonna have David number 1 and David number 2. So, David number 2. Where are you from?
I am from Spain.
Also, wait a minute, David. You guys are both David Fernandez or not?
Yes.
Wow, that's never happened before.
It's a very common surname in Spain.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, welcome to both of you. David, I haven't heard you speak yet. Are you there? The other, David 1. Maybe try refreshing your page, David, because I'm not hearing you. Good. Okay. I'll be back. Hi, Adela. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Welcome. And Renan, how are you?
Hello. I'm fine.
Good.
Very good.
And David, now you're David number 2. We guys switched positions. We have the David Lego. Lego David.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Now I am. Now
I can hear you.
I am going to suggest yellow David and green
Yellow
David.
David. That's good. Yellow and green. Nice.
Yeah, my background is green, so it could have been a great idea.
That's right. Okay, great. Okay, guys. Well, welcome everybody. Let me just check in with you guys and say hi while we wait to see if some other people join us before we get started. Renan, let me ask you, do you have any plans for this weekend?
I need to study and read some books.
Oh,
Some
yeah?
Yes. To my faculty, to my school.
For your school? Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of books will you be reading?
I need to read The Crucible.
The Crucible? Really?
Yes.
In English?
Yes, too. Let me show you my version.
Yeah. I remember reading that.
Yes. And some other articles related to language. I don't know, Portuguese.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah. Another about literature.
Okay.
There's always something to read.
Yes, definitely. I know. So much to read. I have a private student who's from Russia, and during our last class we were talking about, she really likes classical literature, and so I was talking to her about classical Russian literature, of which I haven't read any, but she's read everything, and I want to read some, but it's like so much out there nowadays to read.
I need to confess, literature is not my favorite subject. I'm studying language more because of linguistics. Linguistics and grammar.
And grammar, yeah.
These are my passion.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah, not literature, but it is necessary, it is mandatory, otherwise I don't get my degree, so I need to study, and that's it.
Definitely. Yep, that's how it is with the
end of case. Yeah.
degree programs. All right, well, it's pretty good. It's interesting, so it's not too long either. Those Russian books, man, like War and Peace, 1,300 pages long, so good thing you're not studying Russian literature.
150
yeah.
page long.
But it's a dialogue, right? Because it's a play.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a play. Yes.
Yeah, not too bad. All right, good. Hi, Alonso. Welcome. Alonso, your microphone is muted. Okay. Let me go ahead. We can just get started now.
Hello.
Hi, Alonso. Welcome to class.
How are you, Lisa?
I'm doing
Thank
well.
you. How are
Thanks.
you?
Hey, where's your picture from? Your profile picture. Looks cool.
This is in Cusco, Peru.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. That's a nice shot down down the mountain. Cool. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I'd just like to take the first 5 minutes or so to just give people time to come into the class if they want to join us. Of course, here at Verbling, it's very flexible, so you can come and go whenever it works for you. That's the benefit of becoming a member, actually, is that you can just come and go whenever you want. You can also buy classes if you know you can only do a certain amount in a month or something, and you can just use those whenever you want. So for the speaking class, what I've been doing this week is just having this ongoing list of questions that are kind of random questions. They're not related to a specific topic, and they've been kind of fun for people to answer and hear different points of view about things or just different experiences, what people think. And it's a good way to use your English in a variety of ways, so not just one focused topic, but totally random topics at the same time and during 1 hour. All right, so we'll get started, and like I said, if other people want to join us, that's good. Abdurham, hi there. I see you just join us. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but Abdurrahman?
Yes, thank you. You say my name perfectly.
Okay, where are you from?
From Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome to class. So we're gonna get started now, and like I said, what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna go down the line here, take turns answering these questions. I've said this before. When you answer, try to keep your answers maybe like, between a minute and 2 to 3 minutes or so, just so we have time for everybody to get a few times to answer. In a class when we have a lot of people, we want to make sure everybody gets time to speak. That's why you guys are here. All right. Okay, cool. Welcome. All right, so why don't we start with Ren in number 1. This is interesting. I don't know if this is true in your countries where you guys live, but in the United States, we have this saying, businesses sometimes have this saying, the customer is always right. And not everybody agrees with that, especially if you've ever worked in a business or a customer service related job, like where you had to serve people or something like that, and you didn't agree that the customer is always right. So, Renan, what do you think? Do you think it's true that the customer is always right or not?
No, of course not. Totally agree with this. What I think that we have to respect each other. Okay, yeah. we need to listen to the opponent. Okay, let's say like this, like in a war. We need to listen to the opponent and take his opinion into account. Of course, because I need to expose my point of view and hear yours, so that we can come to an agreement. If I judge you and if I assume that you were wrong automatically without hearing you first, a war is established.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, good. And David, I know you're working with clients and customers. What do you think about this saying that is heard in the United States? I don't know if you say this in business in Spain or not, but the customer is always right. Is it true?
We have the same saying, but it's true and it's not true. I mean, since the customer is the person who pays,
yes,
you have to make them happy. You have to make him happy.
Right.
But sometimes they are not right, and they don't know what exactly is happiness for them. So maybe you have to explain what's actually their happiness. So, for example, I remember a business meeting with a customer. He was trying to compare the execution times. I'm a software engineer, and the customer was trying to compare the execution time using one framework and the execution time using my company framework, which are completely different in many aspects. Okay, the customer didn't enough knowledge, technical knowledge to compare them, and I was trying to give technical reasons. Okay, you cannot compare these times because blah blah blah. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. No, anyway, I don't mind. My software is faster than you. No, listen to me. No, listen to me, please. You cannot compare because blah and blah and blah and blah. No, but my software is fast. Okay, you're right. You're right. So I told them you are trying to compare a motorcycle versus a car. So it's not. They are not comparable things. No, but mine is faster. Okay. So maybe you need to explain what's the customer happiness to make them happy when you are dealing with them. Because, for example, in my job,
Yeah.
for example, in my last business travel in Finland, they didn't want to use the software that we sell as company. So they were doing a lot of mistakes, and due to these mistakes, the performance was bad. So I told them, no, you are doing the things in a bad way. If you do the things in my way, it will work. So sometimes, yeah, the customer is right because they pay, but maybe you have to explain accurately what do they need to be happy.
Yes. Okay, good. That's a good example. Greg, what about you? Have you had any experience with this? The customer is always right. What do you think? Is it true or not? I was just saying that in the United States, businesses often have this kind of this policy or this mantra that they say the customer is always right, and they're trying to provide really good customer service. But of course, we all know that that's not necessarily true all the time. What do you think, Greg?
Hi, Lisa. So I think that the customers doesn't always have. It's not always right, but especially I was thinking about my own country, where he get back to the store with the product which had some defects and ask about the refund, and salesman try to say things like, maybe you did it yourself, maybe you broke this thing, maybe I don't know, maybe it wasn't exactly what you buy. So I say that customer is not always right, but the thing is, if a salesman can actually accept the remarks of the customer, because usually one of the things that he can expect that will be just a refund for what he's buying, or what actually refund for the services that he made. So it's always a hard question, because that works in both sides. I don't agree that customer is always right, but it doesn't really mean that the salesman is always right.
Right, yeah, or the business or something. Yeah, sure.
But actually, one of the experience here in the UK was that actually I got something, I returned because it's not working after a month. And it was quite surprising for me, because I didn't have to stand there to negotiate the result that he would just give me back my money for something that I bought, but it worked correctly at the beginning, and later it just stopped working. So it was the speakers, but not this. Definitely, this phrase is not always correct. That depends from the situation.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think it also, often depends on what side you're on. Are you on the side of the business, or the customers? Certainly, when you're the customer, you feel kind of right, especially if you're not lying or something like that.
You try to be honest with the salesman. He just don't want to do what should be done, and he try to avoid refund or do the service one more time. But we are knowing. I think that is more ethical issues on both sides, because customers can say the same thing. He can just
Absolutely, yeah.
get back to the store. Of course, we have many stores have this policy that you can get back this pink after a couple of, I don't know, days, maybe months.
Yeah.
So I have this pink that actually has always defects. I decided to buy it anyway, and I see on the receipt you can give it back after 3 months. Thinking,
Wow.
okay, it's 4 months and 1 month of difference, and you are left without the money and with product that you are not happy, but I took a risk, so it happens.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I just bought a new washer and dryer, and after 1 month, the washing machine was already broken. So, luckily, it's under warranty. So, under warranty means they are still going to fix it for up to a year. But that was disappointing, you know. So, yeah, as a customer, you expect things that you buy to work, you know. So, definitely. Okay, Yellow David. What do you think? What do you think about the customer is always right saying or slogan?
I think it's not true at 100%. I think it depends on the side in which you are. I mean, if you are a customer and you don't have a job in which you have to attend customers, perhaps you could think this phrase is true. But when you are working in a business and that you have to sell products to customers, I think you will not agree with this phrase. I mean, I think if you're working in one of this business, and you have to try to give to the customer total satisfaction of when he's buying something.
Yeah.
But in one moment you will have the needing of saying to the customer no. I think the customer could ask you for something that you cannot offer to him, and I think there's no problem saying I'm sorry, but what you are asking for me is not possible. And probably the customer doesn't understand, and it makes feel him bad and angry.
Yeah.
But I think if it's not possible, it's not possible, and there's no problem.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think American businesses sometimes they go a little bit too far with this. They say the customer is always right, and it could be sometimes harmful for the business if the customers take advantage of the business. But I think in general most customers are pretty honest, so I don't know. Yeah, depends on the businesses. I think different businesses. Bruno, what do you think about that idea of in Brazil is the customer always right? Bruno, your mic is muted. Bruno, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So, what I think about the customer is always right?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yep.
I don't agree with that, because some customers, they are just so boring. And my father, he has a store.
Oh,
And sometimes I work with him.
Yeah.
And a few customers, they just ask too much. They want you to do to spend all the time with them. I know we have to be polite, but sometimes it's just boring. You know, they ask too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Some of them are not polite. Definitely not.
Yeah, some of them are not very polite. Sometimes when I had my my coffee shop, I wanted to teach people how to be a good customer. This is how you
Yeah, sometimes
you
you
are.
have to do that.
Yeah, they're not educated. Okay, Alonso, what about you? What do you think about the customer is always right? Nobody thinks the customer is right yet. So, Alonso, what do you think?
Sorry, Lisa. I think it's very noisy where I am right now.
Okay, you want to just
Do you listen?
listen?
Do you listen
I
the
hear some dogs.
just the dots?
Just the dogs, yeah.
Okay. And it's okay. I think that depends from the place. I mean, if it's fast food, for example. I think the people is very sometimes it's very it's about people because
Yeah, sometimes the
I
customers.
have it's a fast food, so you have to uh, uh, be fast. And if you don't give the food in this case and 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 quickly the people be angry with you, and sometimes they yell on you.
Yell at you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get angry and yell. Yeah, sure.
And for example, I had a terrible experience, and this a woman told me that you're working here because of me, and I what?
Hmm.
How can she say that? This is she was very ignorant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
some people they think it's okay for them to be rude, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes they go to these places to take out to I don't know how to say it.
Express their frustrations.
Express,
Yeah.
yeah, to express them stress.
Yeah. Their stress. Sure.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, Adela, what do you think? What's it like in Spain?
Yes, I like more and more companies take care to the clients because have this slogan, no, about the customer always right. Because I think clients today nowadays have a power. This internet, this globalization. You can go to a forums and to criticize the product to say other people about you don't agree with the service or with the hotel, etc. There are a lot of people visit this page. Can be a problem for a company, for a hotel,
Yeah.
for a shop. Can be maybe have an incidence about the number of unit to buy or to reservation, or I don't know, but I think the criticizing the forums are very problematic for the company.
Yeah, while you're saying that, I was just showing this is a common one here in the United States. I don't know if you guys use it so much. They do have it in other countries, but in Yelp. So a lot of times when I go to a new town or something and I'm looking for a place to eat, I type into Yelp, and I do go and I look and check to see like how many stars the restaurant had, and I look and see some pictures that people have posted, and sometimes I read some of the reviews, and some people really do take time to really say what was good and what they didn't like. And so yeah, certainly businesses care about this stuff. You know, of course, there's bad people who are just who are just putting in, you know, negative things for whatever reasons. But usually you can figure out, you know, like if that was a person giving a good, honest review or not. So like, this is my town. Here's some things. This is the coffee shop that I used to own. I don't own it anymore. And they have 4 stars right now and 80 reviews. So has anybody ever used one of these services like this, Yelp or some other one?
No, when I book a hotel in Booking, for example, this is a website, there are comments about the clients.
Uh-huh.
I read, I choose a hotel about, for example, place, start, etc. And I have 2 or 3 different hotels. I need to choose one.
Right.
In this moment, I read the comments about the clients.
Yeah.
It's another thing to choose to another information, no, complementary information to decide when
to help you decide. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We say to take into consideration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Does anybody else read customer comments on websites?
Yes, I use Booking like her, and but there's a problem with the comments because many people think that many of the comments you can see in a website are false, are comments posted by the companies or the business.
That's true too. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
And I think when you are reading this information, you have to not consider the top 10 comments and the top bottom comments. I think because the top 10 and the bottom 10 comments. Because
You need
the top 10,
an average, no?
Yeah. Take an average. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, certainly. Even on something like you know, Amazon.com or something, if you're looking for a book, sometimes, you know, if there aren't that many whatever, you know, reviews or something, here's a book. Have your cake and lose weight too. So, you know, some people have a lot of reviews, some don't. You know, sometimes they're all 5 stars, sometimes there's some 1 stars. So, but you have to definitely take into consideration what they're saying and why somebody might. Sometimes it's really clear that the person who's giving it a bad review they shouldn't have bought the book in the first place because it's not their kind of book, you know, or something. So, but you have to be savvy nowadays. Okay, yeah, customer comments a good experience 3. Yeah. Okay, what about the next one, Greg? What is the general feeling towards police in your country? And I guess you could answer this either way, Poland or England. What do you think?
I don't have too much experience with the police in the UK.
Okay.
In Poland, we have police, which is actually show dedication for the small problems like, do you smoke in the public place? Do you limit of the car? There is on the sidewalk and this kind of stuff, and there's always a ticket. But it's what is really interesting that only minority of the people they always come when you ask them to make to solve the problems in the neighborhood when some kind of hooligans make ruckus. So I don't have too much myself. I have nothing against the police because if they're close to the neighborhood, it's always calm. But if we come to the point where actually they try to hurt somebody, and actually, I don't know, this person actually attacked some other person, and they caught them, and they released them after 48 hours, and now everybody knows that that shouldn't be, free. So, and there's so this is how about the effectiveness, and there's other thing. When police become aggressive, sometimes people try to see similarities, because there's in some country there's a police and there's a militia. Yeah. So when about 25 years ago, it was the militia who changed the name from militia to the police. And when older people, when see this kind of things, like someone make recordings of the policeman who exceed the speed limits, and his, I don't know, fiance come to his house, what a coincidence, ask them about the tapes. He said he didn't get in one of the answers that she get was that he don't get any tapes. Actually, which was surprising that they make some suggestion that he was threatening her or something, but actually this kind of things happening, and we always fight in Poland in this way that just some people go to the press, and press is actually, after judges, the most powerful, who actually sometimes more powerful than politicians. So this kind of things we try to solve that everything that police make incorrectly, that if someone go to the press, they actually start having some serious problems.
Yeah. So, I was just looking here too. In America, the police officers, they seem to believe that people don't really trust them. So there's the word that the public distrusts us. And I would say that that's true in a lot of cases, especially in certain cities around the United States. Police officers don't have a good reputation for being helpful, but in other places they're looked at as, doing their job the right way and all that. But we have you guys, like 3 of you from Spain, so I'm wondering what each of you think. So David Green, let's go with you first to see, what do you think about, what's the general feeling towards police? Like, do people in Spain generally trust the police, or do they generally distrust? Do they think they're doing their job? Are they corrupt? What do you think is the general feeling?
I think the general feeling is positive, but I think people are right in this case. And I'm going to explain with 2 examples.
Okay.
First, why do we need police in the streets? I mean, I was in Finland 1 month ago, and I didn't see any policeman. And I have an incredible sensation of safety.
Safety,
Safety at the city. So when I go to Madrid, for example, I can see maybe a cop in every corner. So, okay, why are you there? This is a dangerous place. So, okay, you are there, but I'm not feel so safe like in Helsinki, for example. I felt completely safe there. Even because I didn't see any policeman. I mean, maybe they don't need policemen. So this is a safe city. I felt extremely safe. And on the other hand, my second example is there's a special corps that maybe almost Spanish people hate. When there's a strike or riots in the streets, there are a special corps of policemen to fight against the people in the street, and their brutality are huge. They have no mercy. But I think this kind of policemen, there are this kind of in every country. For example, I was watching yesterday a documentary about the United States. it was talking about it talked about the Lyndon Johnson administration and this and Richard Nixon. I think that they first they were first Lyndon Johnson, and after that Richard Nixon was the following president. I'm okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and they were. I remember in the documentary says there were a lot of strikes, especially because Vietnam War.
Right.
People want peace and something like that, and the policemen were extremely hard with the people, with the population. So I think there's a special corps of police hated by the population, and the police in general. I think people trust them, but
like your neighborhood police or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you need a police neighborhood, it's because your neighborhood is not safe, and you need a policeman there.
Yeah.
So people trust them, but it's a false sensation of safety.
Yeah.
Or at least when I see, for example, in Madrid, when I go to Madrid, I left Madrid 10 years ago, and I don't see almost a policeman in my city now. And when I go to Madrid, I see a policeman almost in every corner. So, okay, I'm looking at everybody or every side. What's happening? Why are you there?
I see. So seeing more policemen makes you wonder, why are you here? Like, okay, I see. Yeah.
Fear sensation. Yes.
Because why do we need so many cops around here? What's going to happen? Okay. Yes. Yeah, I see. Okay,
so I trust the police, but if they are there, it's because something is wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yellow David, what do you think?
I think that you can say, if you could say police is for because something is wrong, or you can say everything is okay because we have a police, the police here, and it's very difficult choose one or the other option, because it depends in many factors. I think. I think in Spain, I agree with David, Green David. I think people used to think that police is good. They are doing their job well, and I think there are policemen that could do their job in a wrong way, like in many other jobs.
Sure.
Yes. And about the special corps that David was talking, I think is a group of policemen who mainly have to work when workers go to a strike, and I think yes, these police are usually very rude, but I think that have to be very difficult to stay here and watch thousands of people against you.
Yeah,
and
really.
I don't like I don't like I don't like be a police in that situation, because I think it's very difficult. In the other hand, they are trained to work in these situations, but I think it's very difficult.
Yeah. Well, one of our Verbling students here from Italy, he works as a cop, and he was saying it can be difficult because you have to as a cop, you can't be involved in any protests, even if you might be sympathetic, which means you agree maybe with the protesters. It's your job. You have to like keep control or order or safety, you know. So, and sometimes they are rough, definitely. Yeah. I haven't been keeping up with what has happened in Hong Kong, but I know they were getting close to sending in the police to disperse the crowds of students that were protesting recently in Hong Kong. I don't know what happened, but it's tough. Alonso, what do you think about, in your country, the perception of the police?
Well, here the police is considered many times corrupt because in the news we see some cases, for example, in the cops fill up the tank of gasoline, of gas, of the police car, but after that the same police remove that gas and remove that to them owner their own car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and also with when the police stop to a transit police. In my country we say a transit police.
Yeah, usually that's kind of like here we would say like the highway patrol or something.
Yeah, but this kind of cop is stop the cars and
the cars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay, this cop sometimes receive some money of the drivers.
Oh, they take bribes, we say.
Yes, yes.
Bribes. So they they pull you over, and then in order not to get a ticket, maybe you give them, you know, some money or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I don't know if that's fair, but because the police here their payment is very, very low.
Oh, okay. It's not it's not a well-paying job.
Yes, here is not.
Yeah. Usually in the United States, the pay is pretty good and the benefits are quite good. And if you work there for a long time, like my dad did, then your retirement is very good. So it kind of depends, but yeah.
What kind of benefits?
Benefits means like insurance, like health insurance, and vacation, and sick leave, so you can take days off and still get paid if you're sick, stuff like that. Those are benefits. So
Okay.
not just your salary, not just the money you get.
Okay.
Adela, what's your opinion about the feeling towards police? Especially sometimes people have different opinions depending on where you live in a country. So, Adela, what's your opinion?
I think the feeling about the police in Spain has changed along the time. I agree with Spanish classmate about it's good. I think it's good for the people in general, but I say has changed because 40 years ago, I think people don't have the idea to change this change so important has produced because 40 years ago with a totalitarian government, police had as a function to control, to have the guardian of the power. In this moment we have a democratic police, more normal is a job, I think is a work and they control the problems is very different. I think. I think it's a change and more people didn't think this change can be possible. I think it's good for the police for this modify the feeling about the Spanish society. I think along the time.
Yeah. I think things definitely have been changing in the United States. I think people used to trust the police more, but now maybe with the internet and knowing more, I just put that site up there that says Police State USA, and it has a bunch of articles where policemen are coming into neighborhoods. They make mistakes, and they actually end up shooting people who are innocent, and of course they sometimes are also targeting certain neighborhoods, like with African American people or poor people. So it's there's corruption in every business, but sometimes it's a little more dangerous for some industries. Like if you're a cop, So in one of the classes earlier this week, we read about a lady here in the United States who had been convicted of murdering somebody, and she spent 17 years in jail. And just this week, she got out of jail because new evidence showed that she was innocent. And one of the reasons why she was in jail was because of a corrupt police officer who had basically lied and had worked with some other informants who were lying also. So that's a terrible situation. Okay, but on a lighter note, a lighter note means an issue that's not so tough to talk about. Were you a good student when you were younger, Greg?
That depends from
whose point of view?
Yeah, a lot of the time. I'm never really the best student. I have to admit that I was for longer period of the time almost on the bottom. From my perspective, it was because I think I wish myself to be there. But for the most time, I was rather a middle student one actually doesn't have any specific achievements and just doesn't, spend too much, I don't know, another grade type of school.
When you were studying, as a younger student, did you have other things that were more interesting to you besides school studies?
Yeah, I think that everyone has I remember there's trainings and there's some things that I don't know. I remember this time that next day I have something like some kind of exam or test, and I hear knocking to my window, and I see my friends, and I say, "We go to drink a couple of beers. Come with us." Yeah. So that depends from situation, I think.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I have some really bad stuff from perspective of the student because there was a time with that actually I just put away books and didn't do nothing, and after I think for 1 month I have this kind of stressful time because I have to get from one class to the other, but I think that maybe I hope that I'm not the exception in this case, and some people have similar experience. Sometimes it's always the time that you don't want to learn, but in my case it was between from 12 to 15 when actually I make mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Green David, what about you? Did you consider yourself a good student when you were younger?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. No.
Explain.
I mean, when I was a child, I wanted to go to the university. I went to the university. I get my computer engineering degree. So in that term, I was a successful student, but I was extremely lazy always. So I never give my best to do that.
Yeah.
I always made the enough effort to pass and to pass and to pass and to get the next achievement and the next achievement, but I didn't get the best of me. So okay, I finished a very difficult degree. I went to the university. I studied languages such as English, a little bit of German, but I have never given the best of me as a student. Now, as in my job, I'm trying to give the best, but not as a student. So I consider myself a bad student, although I've got my challenges. I have an important achievement as a student.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, you did what you had to do.
Yes.
But you didn't go
enough. What I did enough to do.
You did, yeah.
Enough to pass. Enough to pass.
Enough to pass, yeah.
Instead of be okay, I have to get the best qualification, the best mark. No. Okay, I need only 50% pass. Okay, 60% is enough.
Yeah,
so it was my philosophy. In this sense, I was a terrific student.
Well, you have to make your choices. You know, how much time and energy you're going to put where and what you need.
Yeah. And at the end, I'm lucky because I have a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Related to my degree. So I'm lucky. I think sometimes I don't deserve it. Because I didn't get the best of me to achieve that, but it's what it is.
Okay, and Yellow David, what about you? Were you a good student when you were younger?
Well, it was almost 20 years ago, and when I was studying at the university, my first, second, and third year in university, I did only what I had to do. But the fourth and fifth year, I really felt like a good student. I think it was because in that moment I was studying something that I really liked, and I think it is for this. And now I am 42, and I think now I am a good student because I only study that subjects that I want to study.
Yeah, you have choice now. Yeah.
Yes, I can choose what I have to study. And now I am studying English, and I like this, and I think I am a good student. And for example, I am learning to play the drums, and it's very fun for me.
Yeah.
And I think is if you have to study because you have to study, perhaps you don't be a good student.
Yeah.
Or you won't be a good student. But if you can choose what you have to study, I think it's different, and I think you will be a good student.
That seems to be true. Unless you're trying to be like the perfect child or please your parents or something, maybe. Then you do it for other reasons. Alonso, what about you? Were you a good student?
Yes, but just until high school.
Then what happened?
I don't know. My mom is not behind me or tell me do your homework. Study for your test for tomorrow. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes in the university, I have to take some uh, course of general course, and I really don't like it,
Mm.
like economic or economic.
The
Just that.
economics? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I studied biology, but I don't know
Oh.
why. I don't know why I take that.
Did you need it for something, or you just took it?
I suppose that is just for general culture.
Okay, yeah. We call it general education.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
just for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But in high school and in elementary school, I was one of the best in my room, my classroom.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, Adela, what about you? Were you a good student when you were younger?
I consider that I was a good student in primary and secondary
Mm-hmm.
because I have a good behavior, I have good marks, etc. On the university was different because I work full time.
Oh, wow.
Didn't have more time to study.
Mm.
And, but I competitive and I like to have good marks.
Uh-huh.
Even nowadays, no. If I have an exam to the English exam, I like to have good mark, no. I don't
To get a
like
good
to
grade,
fail.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of like that too. More when I was younger. I don't know if I liked competition against other people, but I liked doing it for myself, knowing that I got a good grade because I did the best, so it was kind of important. Yeah.
No, but to have a good mark, not fail, no.
Yeah, right.
It's for yourself, no. But
Right, for myself. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
For sure. Yeah. What about with your students now? What do you tell your students?
My students today.
Yeah, do you ever talk to them about getting, how to be a better student or something?
Yes, I have students good mark with 10. Others they are very lazy. Can have more success and more good marks, but they study the minimum to pass the exam, but the minimum is
Yeah.
they are more capacity. A good brain, no, a good mark in a test,
Yeah.
but they are very lazy because they are very intelligent. Is a problem.
Yeah, sometimes, it's not a priority, so if it's not a priority, it's hard to spend time doing that. We only have 2 minutes left, so let's just stay a little bit with this question. Just tell us quickly, what was your favorite topic to study when you were a student, either in school or out of school? What was the thing you were interested in? So just quickly tell us what it was. Greg, was there something you were particularly interested in?
There was something I was studying. It was about how to make the private sector's company, public companies to, convert to the private sector. And there's a lot of examples based on experience from the United States. It was quite a cool subject for me. I don't know, but I think there was something interesting.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. David, what about for you? Something that was interesting when you were younger?
For physics, I love physics and all related with technology and something like that. And most important for me is history, because if you understand history, you can understand the present, and you can prevent the future.
Yeah.
So for me, history is absolutely necessary at the school.
Okay.
And even when you're an adult, you have to study history and know what happened in the
Yeah.
past to understand.
To understand what's going on now. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Okay, Yellow David, quickly, everybody can have one chance.
Yes, I think it was maths.
Math.
I really liked maths. Yes.
Uh-huh. Nice. And Alonso, one particular subject that you liked to study?
Yeah, math.
Math. Okay,
Uh-huh.
two for math. All right. And Adela?
Science and general biology is my career today.
Uh-huh. Now it is. Okay, great. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for coming to class. Our time is up, so I want to say goodbye, and I hope you have the good rest of your day. Probably some of you are going to bed soon.
Goodbye.
Take care, guys.
Goodbye. Take
Bye-bye.
care.